Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dr. Kogan's YouTube channel. Real quick, decided to post about this article that just came out. This is a pretty advanced study on looking at risks and benefit of COVID vaccine in young adults. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen and then walk you through a few points here. So this is what I saw in the news. I do get the Epoch Times. Sometimes they have really interesting, good articles. So this is one of them. So this is a team of experts from Harvard, Hopkins, and other top universities. Basically, what they did, they looked at the collective data from all of the available data sets on patients who are 18 to 29, so young adults who have gotten mRNA vaccine. And the way they looked at this, they basically said, what is the risk of the booster-associated myocarditis? And the risk was about, several thousand cases versus actually having a risk of serious illness that will be either significantly inducing morbidity or even mortality. And their conclusion is actually pretty interesting. So if the way you look at this conclusion, they basically say, look, yes, on individual level, patient has to make a decision whether or not they would want to obtain this vaccine. But as an institutional requirement, this mandate creates more social harm than any benefit. And this is an important point, because in reality, the mandates of such magnitude create a lot of tension, not just from perspective of simply, somebody is afraid of the risk, but then they are put in this pressure, in a social pressure that creates tremendous amount of stress. And personally, in my practice, I've seen a number of not just students, but I would also say just young adults notice their range. The patients were included were 18 to 30, basically. And so, young professionals in their early to mid 20s to late 20s fall into this category. And as you can see, a lot of them work for different industries where the boosters and vaccines were mandated. So, the article itself goes into great detail describing why particularly this is essential. I will post the link to the actual PDF of the article in the chat, in the details of the YouTube video. They tell you how they come up with the specific calculations if you care about looking this up. And then they go also discussing an ethical evaluation and ethical consideration of all this data, and basically saying, look, so the kind of overarching point is this: if you had an original set of vaccines, and even if you're more than a year out and you're in that young category, getting the vaccine is not so simple, because even if you do get COVID on top of that vaccine, if you're young and healthy, the risk of any serious complication is extremely low. And chances are you probably already had an actual COVID on top of the vaccine, and that is enough to get the substantial immunity to avoid any serious long-term complications. And one thing they didn't consider in this study, which puts a wrinkle in it, which questions the whole decision making, but actually it doesn't change their conclusions, but it puts a wrinkle into my analysis and how I need to present it. And that is, what happens if you give someone a COVID booster? Are you decreasing risk of long COVID? And this is an area that is not very clear. What is very clear is that no matter at what point you get an actual COVID, whether it's whichever variant it is, your long COVID symptom risk is significant. It's somewhere, upwards of 20% or even more. So does the vaccine change it? Does the booster changes that? We don't frankly know enough information to make the comment. But it doesn't change the outcome of the paper. The paper basically looked at the question, should the mandates for young adults be implemented? Are they ethical and are they beneficial? And for young adults, the conclusion is pretty clear. No, they're seemingly harmful. They don't provide significant benefit. They cause significant stress. They cause significant ethical concerns for people to whom they apply, and they probably should not be mandated. So thank you very much. This is a short video. See you soon.